Welcome back to another Patty Stamps video. This is Patty Bennett. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I want to share with you just a fun, easy way to make a whole bunch of cards. Or, of course, you could just make a few, but this is a great tip for making maybe a whole set of cards if you want to give a gift or you have lots of cards to send out. I want to show you how I did the background here with this Regarding Dahlias stamp. It's a beautiful flower from the Regarding Dahlias set, and it's a technique called One Sheet Wonder. Now, I've been a demonstrator for a long time, almost 20 years at the time of shooting this video, and one of the things that we used to do a lot was called One Sheet Wonder. And that simply means that we're going to fill up the entire sheet of cardstock. This is Whisper White cardstock, 8.5 by 11. We're going to fill it up with stamping, and then we're going to cut it. So you can see on these cards that I have just cut a strip about 2 inches, or you can make it any size you want, and I've placed it on the card with some washi tape and a little embellishment. So that's what we're going to do. It's so quick and it's so fun, and it's really kind of cool to see things come back around, kind of, you know, how fashion and everything comes back. One Sheet Wonder is kind of back, and it's real fun to do. So what you want to do is pick a few colors that go well together. And I know you're probably saying, Patty, do you ever use any other colors? You are just really stuck on this sort of a yellow and orange combo, but I'll show you. I'm going to do something else after this one. So I've got Daffodil Delight, Tangerine Tango, and Crisp Cantaloupe. And of course my Whisper White cardstock. So I'm just going to go ahead and open these up. So I've got my 3 ink pads. They're kind of off camera here, but they're there, and my 8.5 by 11. And I am working on a Stampin' Up! Grid sheet because we're going to kind of stamp off the edge of the paper. So you just want to make sure that you have your area protected. Now, what I like to do with this particular method is to go ahead and stamp with my darkest color first. In my case, it's the Tangerine Tango. And I'm going to stamp images randomly. Some of them are going to be kind of off the edge. Some of them are going to be closer. Some are a little further. But you want to just give your paper some good coverage with this image and this color. This is going to be sort of your main color. Let's just do one more right there. Okay, so that's as much as I'm going to fill it with my first color. Then I'm just going to clean off my stamp. I've got my Stampin' Scrub over here. I just want to share with you my preference. When I clean my stamp, I tap lightly, because if you rub, you're going to spray wherever you are working. And especially if you're working close to your finished project, you don't want to spray on there. So I tap, and to dry, I prefer just to tap onto an old washcloth. That's what I keep on one side of my Stampin' Scrub. It's just my personal preference, and it's a tip maybe if you were kind of looking for a tip on that. Okay, now I'm going to ink in my Crisp Cantaloupe, and I'm going to start filling in. Then I'll clean my stamp again and go to my lightest color, which was the Daffodil, and that's going to be just sort of my fill-in color here. I'm going to call that good. Now, I pretty much covered that paper. You can leave a little white space if you prefer. It doesn't have to be completely covered, but I just ended up sort of really covering that, didn't I? It's okay. It's going to look great. So what I chose to do on the cards I was showing you, these are just the little Stampin' Up! Whisper White note cards. They're real nice and heavy, by the way. If you haven't tried these, they're much heavier than the Whisper White cardstock. I love these. They come in a pack of 20. They're already cut and they're already scored. You can see the score line right there. And they have the envelopes right there in the pack. These are fabulous. So what you want to do then is cut apart your big sheet. So I know because I can measure here on my grid sheet that these are 5 inches wide. So I'm going to need a 5-inch piece, and then you can decide how big this way you want it. And it measures 3.5, so I think I'm going to do about 2 inches. Let me see if that's what I did on this one. Yeah, 2 inches. So 2 by 5.5. No, by 5. Let me just double check. Yep, by 5. 2 by 5. You know that old saying, measure twice, cut once, right? So if we want it to be 5 inches, I'm just going to pull out my measuring arm here so that I can cut this at 10, and then I'm going to cut it in half at 5. So there we have our 10, and there we have our 5. And with the Whisper White cardstock, you can actually cut 2 at once, 2 layers at once. Did you know that? It's kind of cool, huh? So we said we wanted it to be 2 inches. So the paper is 8.5, so I'm just going to scoot it here to 8 and take a 1/2 inch off, and then I can do it at 6, at 4, and at 2. And then we will have 8 fabulous pieces very quickly stamped to put onto our note cards. So then you'd want to grab your 8 note cards. I've just got 2 here for the sake of time, and your favorite adhesive. I'm going to use snail for this. I do love the Fast Fuse a lot, but for this I think we just need the snail. And I'm going to place it just a little bit up from the bottom because I'm going to add some washi tape like I did on the samples. So you can, you can play with it. You can turn it whichever way you think, if you like one side to be facing up or whatever. So there I've got a couple of them, and then I'm just going to grab some washi tape. I think I've probably shown you this before. I like to keep them on rings. So this is the I think it's called Lullaby set from the Occasions catalog. So I just keep the whole Stampin' Up! Set together on a ring. You don't have to, or you could do it by color or season. And then I have the great Stacked with Love black and white ones here. I thought this card might look really kind of neat with sort of a pop of the black and white. So I thought maybe I would do that across the top here. And then you can tear or cut your washi tape. I just like to give it a little snip with scissors rather than having the ragged edge, but that's just kind of personal preference. You can do it however you like and whatever you think looks best. And then I thought maybe some of these polka dots on the bottom would look kind of neat. Oops. I think that's kind of cool. It gives you that crisp cantaloupe color. Okay, so there's a quick one. I like that. And then you can experiment and do other colors on your other ones. So let's look again here at the finished ones. You can see I did the polka dots on this one. And then all you simply need to do is just stamp a greeting, punch it out, and add it to your card. A great greeting set to use is something like this. It's a hostess set right now with Stampin' Up, but any greetings you have. And then a punch. This is a really terrific all-purpose kind of punch. Stamp that, punch it out, and put it onto your card. So super easy way to get 8 quick cards done with the Stampin' Up! Note cards. Before I show you that other color combo, I want to show you another really neat thing. You could do the same technique, but do it on top of printed paper. So this is the Something Borrowed package, and it's got beautiful Sahara sand prints, all different prints in this package. And I just used this one that was kind of the plainest pattern, and I went ahead and stamped it with the Regarding Dahlias stamp. So you can see that that is kind of a fun look as well. Okay, so I promised you I can use other colors other than the oranges and yellows. So let's see what this palette looks like. I've got Marina Mist, Wisteria Wonder, and Pool Party. I think that's going to be beautiful together. And I am going to use this Forever Floral set because I think this flower is going to be just gorgeous with this technique. And I think what I'm going to do is actually use this one for the lightest color. Let's mix them up. Let's see how we like that. So let me grab those two images out of this set. This is super light, but it's beautiful. So I'll cut this up and I will have some samples on my blog. You can click up here if you're on YouTube to go to my blog, and you can also click down below in the description to go to the blog post if you're looking at this on YouTube. If you're already on my blog, then you'll be seeing the samples that I've made. So One Sheet Wonder, give it a try. Hope you enjoy that. Have a great day.